That is what I want to know. How did I wake up paralyzed? Because the operation is not in the spinal cord. Everything is here. The doctor wanted me to remove the kidney. They said, we will do an operation and we will remove. And I said, no, it's fine. I can live. There was a nurse that came to me. The nurse said, if they said this, do not. If they say this, you have this problem.
With your kidney?
Yes. Do not allow them to do operation. And then she told me the story of the lady that was doing the same operation. She couldn't walk for a month. Then she was fine.
Sorry, wait. You're saying there was a nurse that actually came to you to
Yes,
say,
there was
if they
a
tell
nurse.
you that you're having a problem with your kidney.
Apparently, they told them before. They came to me that, I was sent most for this checkup, kidneys. Then they came back, and the nurse told me that if they tell you that your left kidney is failing, do not allow them to take it out. Just tell them that you can't do an operation while you have this operation. Yeah.
I've been through hell and back, nobody by my side, nobody to console me, nobody to call me. Hey, but the man got trauma, but the man I've been through hell and back, nobody by my side, nobody to console me, nobody to call me. Hey, but the man got trauma.
Number two, if it is the doctor, the nurse, that actually did not call the doctor in time, that nurse also needs to pay and get dismissed, because you can't continue having somebody that will be there and not calling doctors if something is wrong. They're supposed to follow their procedure. The third one, when it comes to the kidney and the vein, that just does not even make sense.
It doesn't, because when before the operation they said everything was fine. Then where did this come from now, after the operation?
So in your file, have you ever seen somewhere where they wrote about your kidney, that your kidney is failing or anything like that? Or was it always something that was just said verbally?
I don't want to lie. I never checked that specific. Said I'm going to check about this kidney. I never did that. But they said it. They said it.
So if you had agreed, you would have had to go under for them to get your kidney that is fully functioning?
Yes. If the nurse did not tell
warn
me.
you. Of course you would have agreed.
Yeah, I would have agreed.
Sure.
And then in 2019, again, I fainted and I was rushed to hospital. When I get there, they told me that I have a clot inside. This implant that they did, it's leaking. Now they had to do another operation to fix that.
So you did it?
Yes, I went back to Grooteskill. They sent me back to Grooteskill when they found the clot, because I couldn't breathe because there was a clot. Apparently this was leaking. Then I went back to Grooteskill to do the operation, to remove the clot and fix
for them to fix the leaking.
It was another operation again.
Was it the same doctor that operated on you?
Yes, same doctors.
So this time, where did you get cut?
In here, same place, but there was something they put here at the side, like what is it? They opened here to put the drainer.
Okay.
This side.
So when you had that operation to fix, was this after they'd already told you about your kidneys and you refused?
Yeah, it was after.
Have you ever went to get checked after that second operation of fixing?
For a kidney. Yes.
And both are there?
They're fine.
Okay. Because, hey, we cannot even trust.
I never trusted them. I didn't even want to go to them for checkups because I was not sure what are they going to do. Because there's this one time the doctor said to me, after he saw that I did this, I tried to sue the hospital or him. He literally asked me, did you think about my life when you were trying to do whatever you did? Did you think about my children, the life of my children? Did you think about my name? And I was like Nyani, are you going to tell me about your life? What about my life? I'm sitting in a wheelchair for life. Then you don't even care about that. The only thing that you care about is your life, your kids,
your
and
money, your name.
Your name.
What would you say? Because I know obviously it's a lot, but what would you say off the top of your head you would say has been the biggest inconvenience with you being on a wheelchair?
I don't want to say if I was not in a wheelchair, it was going to be easy. In my life was going to be easy. But I feel like it was going to be different, much different than now. Everything is just not making sense now. Everything. You know, there are times I feel like I don't want to go anywhere. I just want to stay home. Especially now I can't because now I'm working. I have to work. I sometimes feel like I can just leave this work and stay home because my body is tired. I'm forcing my body. I'm really forcing my body because I can't live without
the payment is coming.
Yes, I can't live with a disability grant.
You did say that you sorry. You did say that you were an agent, right? You're an agent of
the company. There's betting companies.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Like, do you recruit? What is it?
No,
like, what
I'm
is your
not
job
recruiting.
description?
I'm a customer service agent.
Okay, you are a customer service. Okay. So sorry to cut you off, yeah.
So there are times I feel like, you know what, I feel like quitting because my body cannot take anymore. I'm tired, as I said that. I'm working shifts, I'm working night shifts. I get sometimes home 3 o'clock in the morning, then I have to wake up. Obviously, in this situation, I have to wake up, prepare early than normal people. So sometimes I feel like I don't get time to rest, but I don't have a choice. I don't have a choice. I have to wake up and do something because I don't have a backup system. Like, not at all. If I don't work, no one is going to give me anything. No one is going to buy me linen savers. No one is going to buy me catheters. No one is going to buy me anything that I need for disability because I need those things.
Who are you staying with now?
Hello.
Where is your child?
She's in Eastern Cape.
Okay, is she with your siblings?
No, she's
with her father's place.
Yes.
Okay, but you guys have a good relationship, right?
With
your daughter?
Yes.
Yeah, everything is fine.
Yes.
Can you please just tell us, how was that experience falling pregnant? Did you carry full time?
Yeah, it was not a full time.
Okay.
It was 7-8 months.
Okay.
But I didn't experience, it was not bad.
Okay.
It was really not bad. And that time I was home, was always in bed.
Okay.
So it was not really bad.
Okay, so when you gave birth, was this before or after you had the second surgery?
It was before.
Before.
It's-
Okay, how far long did you have to have the second surgery?
Was it a month?
After you gave birth? Yo.
Yeah.
Did they think maybe pregnancy contributed, or was it because
No.
it was already leaking?
No, it was they said that before let me say after the operation, they said that you will have to do checkups because every 5 years we need to change the implant.
Oh.
So I never went for it.
Or you never went for
For-
it to be,
yeah, to be changed.
What was the reason? Was it because you did not trust them, or what happened?
I did not trust them.
Okay.
I did not. I don't want to lie. I did not trust them. So I didn't want anything to do with that
Them,
hospital again.
Yeah. And is that the only hospital, like the only hospital that is there that can be able to perform the surgery that you need, or is it just the biggest?
They said so. They said
Okay.
just, is it the biggest? I don't know. But in Eastern Cape, there's no hospital that can
Do that. Sure. So at this point, obviously, I hope that you guys have followed the story. I think the first thing that we would obviously need is legal advice, right? On how, we can go about this, number one. Number two, I do feel like you definitely deserve to know exactly what happened. Who was at fault? Was it the anesthetic doctor? Was it the nurse that just never called the doctor early enough? The kidney one, we're not even going to talk about it because your kidneys are fine. You walked in, were you even in pain with your kidneys when you walked in?
No.
Even
I
till
didn't.
today, your kidneys are fine. 15 years later, so obviously that cannot be that. And then the fourth one was,
They said that it's the nature of the operation.
but never
They
ever
never-
did they ever put in a
Exactly.
doctor that the doctor maybe made a mistake and cut what they were not supposed to cut, which is very questionable. Because if you operated, you are saying the possibilities are only other people except for you. How is that? So obviously we do need that help. And what I will also do is, please do send me your account number, ne? We'll be able to put it here. So if you guys can be able to help, any donations obviously will be appreciated. This will go towards, if we are unable to get a pro bono lawyer, then maybe we can be able to put money together and maybe we can hire a lawyer on discount, or we can just hire a lawyer if we do she does manage to raise enough funds. So please do help us, ninjas. I mean, I know some of you guys are out there, you're lawyers, you're everything. Please, man, please help us. Please help us, ninjas. Like, honestly, I'm just asking you guys because I hope that there's a reason why you watch my stories. They're not only just for entertainment, where you feel that, it has now come to an area where you can be able to help, then that is that. And I think that for me, what I'm realizing more and more is that when it comes to my show, we definitely need legal help so much, because there's so much injustice that is happening in South Africa. A lot of people are wronged so much. So besides actually like getting a lawyer, did you ever try and go to the police station and open a case?
No, I did not.
Did you ever ask to say, is it a possibility for me to can open a case?
No. The only thing I did, now I think the week that been posted on Facebook, we tried to contact people from health, since people were taking people on Facebook.
Yeah.
Then there's a lady replied, I think she's MEC in Western Cape.
Okay.
And she replied and said she will have a meeting with Groteskil, and they will come back to us within 3 days. But till today, there's nothing. There's nothing. And also, I went to get my folder because I wanted to check the lawyer documents, the last lawyer documents. Then I was told that they don't keep them in hospital, but someone confirmed that they don't keep lawyers' documents in hospital.
So that lawyer, when you try to contact him, he's gone.
He's
can't
gone,
get
he's
hold
gone
of him.
that one.
Same as the first one. So when the doctor was now talking to you about how you were not thinking for him or his family about trying to sue the hospital or things like that, how did he get to know? Because from what I understand, it's like...
I think he saw from the file, because the first time after the lawyer did after the lawyer contacted me, when I went there, I saw something from the lawyer. So maybe he saw from the lawyer, from the file, that there is something like this. And 2023, before I went to Cape Town, I was just cleaning around the house. Then I found a letter that was written by my mom. And from that letter, she mentioned that the doctor, which is the one that did the operation, they had... she wanted to know what happened to her child. Then they were in the consultant room, and then the doctor said to my mom, if she tells what is this? If she goes and tell people that what were they talking about in that consultant room, he will sue my mom. He will make her pay. We don't know what was it that they were talking about.
Because you only saw the letter. The letter was from the doctor to your mother.
No.
It was from your mother.
Yes, it was written.
Oh, she was writing to let you guys know. Or
I think she was writing she was writing the letter to the social worker.
Oh.
Yeah, she was writing the letter to social worker. I don't know if if that was a copy or what, but I saw that. But she never said anything to me. I only saw that letter.
Sure. So now going home, since you're saying you sometimes arrive home at 3 a.m., how are you traveling?
There is a transport
from work.
From
so
work.
you get dropped off and picked off.
Yeah. No, they don't pick me up. I only get dropped off. I use taxis to get work.
And you're still facing the same challenges that you've
Every
been
day.
facing.
Every day. It's a pain when I come there and see, they standing there, but when I'm close, they will just leave and get inside the taxi and they close the doors. When I get there, I will stand there looking for someone to help me. No one. Sometimes it's drizzling, sometimes it's raining. Then I sit there and wait for the taxi driver to come and assist. Sometimes I get help by the
Passengers as well.
So the transport thing is very painful.
Have you ever expressed to your employers, perhaps maybe they could organize a transport?
They know. They know that the only transport that they could provide is that one that takes me home, from work to home. And when I have this feeling of just quitting my job, thinking if I quit my job, then what? Then what? Because I have nothing. I have nothing. I only have disability grant. Then if I quit work, I will quit work, then what?
When it comes to school, are you still interested in going back to school?
I'm not sure if I can be able.
Because I think now things have changed, online learning is also there.
I'm not sure.
so I'm sure you guys have basically just heard. Today has really been quite a day, hey? But I think there's only one thing that I can just say, because, you know, I mean, you were here, she actually arrived here like very early, like almost an hour and a half early before your appointment, you know. And I saw you because you had to use the back route since we have stairs here. And what I saw was that you are someone that is so independent. That's something that I saw. That you are so independent, because even when we were coming, because, you know, it is a bit wet because it was raining and everything, you did not want us to like push you. You were still just, you know, pushing yourself wherever like there's maybe a step that's the only place that will be able to help and everything. And I think sometimes as people, we do quite underestimate our own power because we do not see our strength, you know. I mean, I'm sitting here and I'm listening to everything that you said, and I'm just in awe of like, you are actually here 15 years later. Girl, you are actually here. You know, I really truly am so proud of you. And I cannot lie and say, you know, I know the situation you're in. I cannot even lie. However, what I can just say is that I am just so proud of you. And as much as, you know, you said your whole story, you know, it was many times where you said you did sit down and you thought of taking your life, but you didn't, you know, you did not, which means that every single time you had to fight that, and you fought a battle that you actually won. I am really so sorry that all this happened to you. You definitely did not and do not deserve this. I think the issue here is that people are also just very much selfish. If there was a mistake that happened with your operation, they need to take accountability. They need to take accountability for that, because, I mean, at the end of the day, they have changed your life completely, you know, and of course, definitely compensate you so that, you know, you can also be given that leg up that you did not have. And this whole story of the kidney situation, that is just some shady thing that is actually going on. Because now we have to ask ourselves, for a nurse to actually come and warn you. And, you know, sometimes that's when you just know that God loves you. That's when you just know. Because if that nurse maybe was not touched by whatever it is that touched her, she was not going to tell you. You know? So I really truly pray and hope that you will be able to get the justice that you deserve, because you deserve to get justice. And again, just as I'm saying, please, man, guys, please help us. I galikopa, guys, please help us. Legal advice, donations that you can be able to. The account number that you guys saw is not mine, it's hers. So all the money will be going to her and not me. So please just make sure that at least, you know, whatever you have, you can spare. Please do just make sure that you send her, just so that it can be able to help her. And especially in terms of like also getting a lawyer. And it's also just so suspicious of the fact that the lawyers you get, they just keep leaving without an explanation, and they disappear, you know. It really just, this country is just so corrupt.
It does, because in 2023, I contacted someone, or in fact, I wrote on Twitter and asking for help. No, I wrote on Western Cape government. Then there was this lady who replied. Apparently, she's a medical doctor at that hospital, head doctor in that hospital. She replied and she said on the email, I can see that your case was presented in 2015. Last week, she came back and said, I can see that your case was closed in 2015. What is that? It was represented in 2015. It was closed in 2015. And when I questioned her about that, she never replied. She only told me that we are trying to get you a new wheelchair and stuff. And I said, I don't want wheelchair. I didn't say I want wheelchair. Yes, my wheelchair is thus. It's even very hard to push because it's this big. But I didn't say I need wheelchair. I just need an answer. You said in 2015 the case was represented. Now you're telling me that it was closed in 2015. How is that?
Who represented it?
She didn't tell me. But I think it is the lawyer that assisted me in 20. Remember, the second lawyer, it was
you got
in
2015. So the first lawyer, Liena, he disappeared, right?
In 2014. Yes. Then the second lawyer, I got it in 2015. Then he took me to the doctors in 2018.
Yeah.
But the case was closed in
2015. How does that make sense?
How is that?
Yeah. No, definitely a lot of stuff are just not making sense here. Really, they're just not making sense. But what would you like to say before we close up?
I think the only thing I need is answer from the hospital. If they can't fix this, they must pay me. If they can't take me back to my life, to my normal life, then they must pay me. Because I'm struggling.
No, definitely.
I'm struggling.
Definitely.
That's the only thing I want.
And
I can't be sorry.
No.
I can't be working like in this. Sometimes I feel sick, but I can't be sick every time at work. I can't be always sick at work because of this problem.
No, definitely. And medical malpractice is actually way more common than you think. Way more common. The doctor that operated you, is it a black or a white doctor?
Indian.
And I'm gonna say this, right? And I don't care because this is my experience. This is what I went through. I, at this moment, trust black doctors. I will not lie. It's through my own experience. I had a Afrikaner doctor who wanted to yank out my womb at the age of 29. Married. This man told me, you've got a deformed womb. It was a Friday, and I remember he went, he stood, he looked at his roster, and he said, yeah, Wednesday I have time, we can have the operation. And he was not even a gynecologist, he was a surgeon. He could be able to operate and take my womb out, but he's not a gynecologist. That man never said, oh, listen, I am I am a surgeon. I would like to refer you to this gynecologist, get a second opinion, get a whatever. Only to find out that his scanning and everything is outdated and old because he's not a gynecologist. I did not have a deformed womb. I had fibroids and they were big. One was bigger than my womb actually. And it was like in front, and that's what he saw, which looked deformed because it's not a womb. It's actually a fibroid. And I remember I had Dr. Mkaya, who is a black African man doctor, who is the one that operated on me. And I remember looking at him, and when I got there, and he told me that the first thing that I'm going to do is make sure that we do every single thing to save your womb. And he did it. Got the fibroids removed. My womb is 100% fine. So I'm just saying this to say that just because someone is a doctor does not mean they're not racist. And I think that's the issue that people have. We look at people with the qualifications that we have, and somehow we do not look at the fact that this is a human with flaws that have got their own different stuff. I'm not saying that maybe it was done deliberately, but how careful were they? Would it have been the same situation if it was an Indian little girl, a 21, 22, 23 years old? Would it have been the same outcome? And that's the reason why I asked you, race. It is very important. I don't even want to lie. I do not even want to lie. But anyway, there's a vendor saying that says, if your vendor will understand what I meant. But trust and believe. I am at a point in my life where anything serious, I am looking for a black doctor. Yes, one of my own that will understand our cultures, that will look at me and see one of their own, And I am really just so sorry that all this really honestly happened to you. And I think, or rather I would say, I pray and hope that something like this doesn't happen to any other person.
Yeah. That's always it's something that I always say, that I don't wish this situation for anyone. Because, it's not right.
Right now, let's say, what would make your life easier?
I think if I can have my own house, because I'm renting flats, and the flats are not made for wheelchair people. Yeah. I'm struggling still. If I can have my own car, that would be very nice, and it will make my life much easier. Yes, there are a lot of things that I need, but I think there's two things.
Yeah,
there are a lot of things that I need to have. I have to live. I need money to live, obviously. But if I can have my house so that I can stay freely, no problems, anything, then my own car so that I can stop using public transport when I will get discriminated every day. Sometimes you would see even the passengers, sometimes if they are rushing, they are late, you would see them, they like, yo, you are taking time. And I'm like, what must I do? I don't have choice. I have to take time. It's not like I want to take time, but I don't have any choice. So, yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Ninjas. Thank you guys so much for joining us today, and thank you so much for coming. Guys, she actually came in all the way from Cape Town.
Yes.
You are actually our first guest that has traveled that far just for us, actually. So thank you so much for actually, taking your time and coming and sharing your story. I honestly pray to God that, this will definitely get people that will at least, see your story, sympathize with you. Those that can be able to help actually do that, just so that we can also help you live a better life, an easier life. And also, most importantly, for you to get justice and also get the answers that you deserve to know on as to what happened. You walked into a hospital for an operation. You woke up paralyzed. Even till today, 15 years later, you don't know what happened. That's unfair.
And there's no case.
It was opened and then closed, same year. But the same lawyer still now took you for checkups 2018 and then disappeared. So it means they were just trying to shut you up because they saw you were not being quiet. Why would the same lawyer not tell you that the case has been closed already? It doesn't make sense.
It's not. And I do have emails. I do have her emails saying that. I screenshot.
Medical malpractice is real, guys, in this country. It really honestly is. Racism also happens, and it happens within the same institution, just as it happens in all institutions. And now I know that you don't have the luxury of choosing who's going to help you, especially when it's a public place. But in all honesty, I also just, I don't know, I think it's also just because I'm traumatized with the experience that I had. Now, he did not know, obviously, that I went to a medical school, so I knew a difference between a surgeon and a gynecologist. But my heart literally aches on how many people went there and they were told your womb is deformed and they got their wombs yanked out like that. And I think there's also just a level of carelessness that certain doctors have when it comes to people of color. I'm going to say it because this was the same doctor that actually diagnosed me to say I had thyroid, and I was on thyroid medication for over 5 years. Taking medication of thyroid I never had.
Yeah.
I went off the medication because I always suspected, and I told him, no, my ex-husband was the one that filled the form. He accidentally marked thyroid. I told him I don't have thyroid. He marked it by accident. The same doctor said, no, don't worry, the lab results will show. He came back and said, no, the lab results showed that you have got thyroid. So the medication I was taking was called Thyrox. But even though I was taking the medication, I really did not believe that I had thyroid because I was like, it was just a mistake. My ex-husband did. But due to the fact that, a doctor, said it, I took the medication. And I remember it was only years later that when I was this side, I think I found out last year actually. Yeah, because I stopped taking it last year. And then last year, that's when, after a whole year of me not being on any thyroid medication, I went and I got checked up and my levels were 100%. And they asked, who said you had thyroid? I said, that doctor, but I remember I explained, I was like, that's why I was even asking, do I have thyroid? And so I think that you can just see that there's a level of carelessness. They don't care about us. I mean, what effects did that medication have on my kidneys for years? What effects did it have on me taking medication of something that I don't have a problem with, So I think that it is about time that we also do speak up and spread the word of the fact that, guys, racism also happens. There's carelessness that I feel like it's just negligence at this point. They sometimes want to use us as their guinea pigs. And that is absolutely not fair at all. This is unacceptable. Is unacceptable.
And the fact that there were students in theater.
In such a huge operation.
Because they said that it was 11 hours operation. They killed my dreams. They killed my dreams. The only dream I left with is being a DJ now.
You should become one. I'm sure you really want on the decks.
That's the only dream I'm left with.
Are you what do they call? Are you learning though?
I'm not yet, but I am looking for people that can assist me
in teaching you. I think that's a great dream. We can definitely make that happen. So you are in Cape Town, right?
Yes, I'm in Cape Town.
So it means you would need to get someone that is in Cape Town.
Yes.
No, don't worry. We'll make a plan. Ninjas, there's no way. I'm sure we've got DJs that, they will be able to teach you.
DJ on the wheelchair.
We'll find a catchy name for you. Yeah. Do you understand? But yeah, no, definitely. And I think that if there's something that you want to do, hey, go for it. Yes. Why not? Why not?
I really want to do that.
Yeah, I mean, your hands work fine, so be there doing it. So yeah, no, definitely we'll talk after this. I will definitely give you guys an update. We need to get a DJ in Cape Town that will be willing to actually teach a corner how to DJ. That's a pack I'm giving you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I will advertise even on my main channel. Say, guys, we've got a lady by the name of Agona that wants to be a DJ. If you're in Cape Town, do this. Let's document the journey. How about that?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. So, yeah, man, just thank you guys so much for actually joining us. I really honestly cannot stress this enough. I cannot stress this enough. If you're someone that watches me, you know this. The whole thyroid issue, I spoke about it. The whole misdiagnosed with my womb, I spoke about it. Because I truly believe in, let's educate each other. There's no reason why you should watch our videos and you end up not learning anything. But be really, really careful. A racist is not written on top of their head. Be very, very careful. And yeah, basically that is that. And shout out, man, to the nurse that actually came to you.
Yeah, thank you very much. You're that one.
Is she black, I assume?
No.
She's Indian?
She's colored.
She's colored. Well, I mean, those are...
She's colored. She loved you. She loved me. That lady loved me.
Mm-hmm.
Shame. But I don't see her anymore when I go there.
Yeah. Wow. Thank you so much. And please be like her. When you see injustice happening to people, at least warn them, because we know and understand sometimes you're trying to keep your job. But what she did was noble. So thank you no matter where you are. We really appreciate you. So anyway, just thank you guys so much for joining us today from Owamie and Akona. It's bye for now. And we'll see you guys later, because I'm sure that we will have a video of her on the deck.
Yes.
Is it called on the deck?
Yes.
DJing over there. You understand? Live update and isn't those that corner. But anyway, love you and just stay blessed. And I will see you guys in my next upload. Bye.